Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Welcome back from Daily Mail. Shocking moment, man follows a woman, tackles her to the ground, and assaults her while she's out for a walk in Brooklyn as New York's crime wave continues. This is the crime wave that AOC said is not there. People just being hysterical. Remember that one? Latest numbers from NYPD show, can't say the word, and other blank crimes citywide were up 5% and 25% respectively compared to June 2020. Now, when you're going to see this video, you're not going to see anything that's going to upset you. It shows him knocking her down, but they don't really show anything. They blur it out, which is fine. You don't really need to see every little detail. A shocking attack was captured on surveillance video in Brooklyn, showing a man tackling an unsuspecting woman from behind and assaulting her on the sidewalk amid skyrocketing crimes in New York City. The police took place around 8:10 p.m. Now, it's pretty light out, but even still, that's in broad daylight. In the trendy Williamsburg section of Brooklyn, according to police, the victim described as a 35-year-old woman was taking an evening walk on a hot summer evening when a man began following her. Now, it shows it there. It doesn't show anything really, really bad. So you don't have to freak out. Oh my God, look at this. Look how brazen. Look how brazen. I think we get the idea. We can move on. Police in New York City are on the hunt for a man seen in this screenshot above who was accused of attacking this woman and groping her in Williamsburg on Monday. Why? Are they just is an isolated incident of a mentally ill person? No. The fact of the matter is they know. They know that if they're caught, they won't go to jail. Now, you've seen a couple of pictures where she's smart enough because she sees that he's following her. She'll stop and let him go by. And he still ends up behind her. And it's just unbelievable to me. She knows the stranger's presence behind her and turned down from Morgan Avenue to Stagg Street, but the man continued to trail her, as seen in the surveillance video. Footage shows the unidentified attacker break into a run and jump on the victim from behind, causing her to lose her footing and fall forward. Police said the man held the woman out, reached into her shorts, and forcibly grabbed her buttocks while fleeing eastbound in Stagg Street. The woman was not physically hurt and refused medical treatment. The couple was described as a man between 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing about 165, with a medium build and black hair, last seen of wearing a black T-shirt, green camo pants, and black sneakers, and with a black face mask around his chin. The attack in Brooklyn comes in the midst of a crime epidemic that has overwhelmed New York City over the past several months with murders, assaults, shootings, and assaults. You see the word there, being all on the rise. Can't say how the algorithm will pick it up. Now, what was the effing point? Grabbing, I could see maybe her, I don't see, but at least some justification. Why would you knock her down and grab her in the butt? Take her cell phone, maybe? Take her purse? Was she carrying a wallet? Were you just a regular thief? No. This is actually worse than that. At least there's a motive for that kind of stupidity, stealing somebody else's stuff. Makes no sense to me, except for the fact that I think I can. I can do this, and nothing's going to happen. Oh, gosh. You know, here's the thing. Here's the guy here. So I'll show his picture, this piece of crap. Here's the thing. In major cities like this, crime is going up. The draconian lockdowns are a huge help to that. People out of work. But the thing of it is, though, they know from all the rioting and all the looting and all the assaults and the tearing down of statues and the smashing of businesses and the assaulting of people that if they get arrested, and that's a big if, they're just going to get cut loose. And in fact, it's many criminal cases, there's bail funds that people put money in online to get these people out. It's a revolving door. You fill out the paperwork, you walk away. There's no repercussions. Well, what do you think would happen? We'll use the shoplifting fiascos that are going on in the big cities, especially San Francisco. Now, it's not a felony if it's under $950 stealing something in San Francisco. Now, what do you think? I owned a store for over 20 years, a neighborhood store in a low-income area. Theft is pretty high. The corporations call it pilferage or shrinkage, but it's the same thing as theft. Merchandise that's missing without being paid for, same thing. What would happen if the worst that could happen to you, if you got caught, was you had to give the stuff back? What do you think would happen? Everybody be stealing. There's no repercussion. The only thing that would stop you would be the moral part of it. It'd be unbelievable. There's what, 18 Walgreens in San Francisco that have shut down? And then when they put the stuff that's most shoplifted behind plexiglass for security, all the local moron progressives and the people that run these cities were screaming racism. Are you out of your effing mind? How is this connected to this, you're asking? Well, it's shoplifting, that's different. No, it's the same mindset. I can do whatever I want to because there's no repercussions. Nothing will happen to me. This is like a very light version of the movie The Purge. Of course, it's not as violent as that. Sometimes it is. But no, it's just a mentality. I can do anything I want to because I'm oppressed or I'm this. Or who the hell knows? I'm not a shrink. I used to say this when I was a councilman. When I used to get in arguments in city council in upstate New York, I used to say, I don't have enough experience in the mental health field to even begin to figure out where you're coming from. And they would get mad. But that same thing applies here. According to the most recent statistics from the NYPD, blanks and other S crimes citywide are up 5% and 25% respectively. And they go through some statistics here. The biggest increase has been in gun violence, with shootings up 43% from the 503 to 718. New York Mayor de Blasio has been blamed by the critics for not being tough enough on crime. They say his bail reforms intended to avoid leaving people who can't afford bail lavishing in jail for months or years for petty crimes, release suspects back into the street to go on to reoffend. Morale among NYPD officers has slumped in lukewarm support for Blasio. Lukewarm? It should be ice cold. It should be absolute zero lukewarm. And that's the other thing. You opened up your door to let some air in and you owned a convenience store during New York City's lockdown. The local police saw that. You're open, under arrest. All they did was airing the place out. They weren't even open. I've been a huge supporter of law enforcement. I always got endorsed by law enforcement every time I ran for city council here in upstate New York. And I'm still a huge supporter of law enforcement. But guys, right now, law enforcement is under the microscope really badly. A lot of people are screaming to get rid of you guys, put many of you in jail, defund the police, blah, 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 blah. Your list of friends is getting smaller and smaller. Do not enforce laws from especially local municipalities, mayors, county executives, even governors that are unconstitutional. They'll say, well, we're just doing our job. The law says this and they're breaking it. No. It's unconstitutional things you're doing. You're losing the little bit of support you have. Think about what you're doing. I know it's hard. I know I got a pension I got to keep. I got 2 kids and a wife and mortgage payments and, health insurance, and the list is endless. Say, no, I can't do that. It goes against my oath. Might cost you a couple promotions, but somebody's got to finally say no. It's just amazing to me. It really is. And there's the graph. Felony assaults in New York City, murders in New York City, the graphs that are going up 12%. Oh, say, John, that's not really allowed. Oh, really? So those 23 more people that were killed in New York City, that's somebody's father, somebody's mother, somebody's sister, somebody's brother, somebody's neighbor, somebody's friend. Those 23 people do count. Fears are growing that the city is harking back to the days of the 70s and 80s when murders and shootings were rife. Earning New York the nickname Fear City, Governor Andy Cuomo said that New York City is now in the throes of a major crime problem, which, if not tackled soon, goes to cause irreparable damage to the Big Apple. Some 1,800 cops were cut as a result of defund the police movement, which has prompted Blasio to cut the budget of the NYPD by $1 billion. That's B, billion. That's $1 million 1,000 times. 900 new recruits were added in November, but still nearly 2,000 cops off a total of 36,900 uniform members of service since 2019. Cops said the spike in crime is down to de Blasio disbanding the anti-crime unit, which had about 600 officers in it. Well, here's the thing. They're still down 1,800 cops. They were cut. Plus those that just took their retirement, those just walked away and worked for another municipality. And they're adding 900 new recruits. Here's the thing. Those 900 new recruits have zero, or just barely above zero, real life police experience. And in fact, that I don't know where it was when the cops were called, when that young black girl was pulled out a knife and stabbed another one, and a police officer shot her and killed her, and they all raised hell. I believe that might have been his first day or his first week on the job. He did the right thing. He saved the other person from being stabbed, but they gave him all kinds of crap for it because he was white and the person that was shot wasn't. But the video clearly showed what it was. They can say all they want to. This one is a no-brainer. Even they can't go after this person, after this new cop. That's not the point. These new cops are going to make more mistakes. And more people are going to die. You don't have the street savvy or the maturity of your age. There's a lot of reasons that when you're on the force for 6 months or 15 years, there's a big difference. You know how to handle certain situations. And that's how you learn, on-the-job training. But unfortunately, sometimes on-the-job training as a police department is life and death. So here's a picture of this asshat. Now, what's the charge? I really don't know. I really don't know. I hope they, to the fullest extent of the law. And then, once he's caught and convicted, because this is obviously a no-brainer, I mean, the most progressive judge in the world can give this guy probation. It would be such a shitstorm. Maybe it'll be deterrent to other people, but I doubt it. But here's the other side of this coin that's affecting the rest of the country, saying, well, this is New York. I don't live there. F them. You reap what you sow. I've said that myself. Here's the thing. Millions of people. There's a pretty good-sized migration going on in the United States from these deep blue, heavily, densely populated blue cities and blue states into red states. And here's the problem. And you know what I'm going to say next. They're bringing their progressive ideology with them. I consider that more of a deadly virus than the coronavirus. That virus of progressivism and liberalism has killed more people than the coronavirus in this country. You could probably get a PhD trying to figure out how many were killed because of progressivism over the coronavirus. I'll bet you it'd make a hell of a book. But nobody's going to do that. But unfortunately, I wish we had those numbers. I wish somebody could sit down and had the skills to look these things up, the statistics, and actually see, but we can pretty much guess. The point I'm trying to make is you leave these cities because of this nonsense. You're the ones that voted for these people that run the cities to turn it into this, number one. And number two is when you leave and go to a red state or a red city or area or rural area, don't bring the progressive virus with you. They're talking about vaccines and vaccine passports and everybody should get a vaccine. I wish there was a vaccine for progressivism and you couldn't move into a red area or a red state unless you could show you were vaccinated against it, but unfortunately there isn't one. Anyway, folks, that's my opinion on this. Tell me what you think. And until next time, goodbye and good luck.